everyone, and welcome back to another Storytime video. Today I am going to be talking about old school classic YouTube. Back when YouTube was, for creators at least, a better site. I bring this up because of what's happened over the last few days when it comes to the Act Man being critical of Quantum TV and about the review of Elden Ring. I'm not going to comment on that. Not only because I don't want YouTube to bring any sort of hammer down on me. Not that it would really affect me because I don't make any money on this or on this channel. And I don't plan to make money on YouTube for a long time, even if I do. So, I don't think it would really affect me except for sandbagging me in search results and recommended. But yes, so old school classic YouTube. Something I miss. Something I think about and I go, man, I wish YouTube was the way it was back a decade ago. I mean, heck, even in 2016 it wasn't bad. But that's not what I consider old school classic YouTube, even though YouTube in 2016, right before that adpocalypse happened, which I remember like it was yesterday, because at that time I thought there was a chance I could start making money on YouTube at that point. But then adpocalypse ruined that dream for me, at least for now. But regardless, YouTube was great in 2016 as well. That was the last hoorah of YouTube, where you could do anything and say anything that you practically wanted to. Could you imagine how many people on this site would get offended over Filthy Frank? I remember how many people got offended by him whenever, well, I remember that people got offended by him quite a bit whenever he actually was uploading content. But, this is not about Filthy Frank, even though I miss that legend. This is about old school classic YouTube. 10, 15 years ago. Now, as some of you may know, well, as some of you probably know, I've been uploading YouTube content for 9 years. I started in March of 2013, so in March of next year, it will be an entire decade that I've been uploading YouTube content. And that almost feels like yesterday, when I first hit the record button on the to record my very first video. But yeah, without getting any more sidetracked, I'm gonna actually get into the story. So back in old school YouTube, I remember you could say and do anything you wanted to. Kind of like 2016, but that there wasn't as much raunchy content as I remember. YouTube back then was dominated more by not Filthy Frank, but Fred and Annoying Orange. Two names that I have not heard really talked about on the YouTube scene in a decade. I have been a regular YouTube watcher for the better part of 15 years now. It was great back then. Back then, stuff didn't seem as streamlined. I say that especially in the last few years. They have rounded off the likes and dislikes, which I don't get it. I guess they're being lazy. But what I really don't understand is, why did they remove dislikes? I get that they didn't remove them entirely, but why? Only the person that has uploaded the video, unless, and one of my classmates does this, unless you have a Google Chrome extension which restores, is what I meant to say, which restores the dislikes so that you can actually see the dislikes. I remember back when there was a star system, and back when the bar was actually a green and red bar as opposed to the very muted colors of blue and gray. I pretty much back when I first started, right when I first started, within the first week or two of when I started, they changed the channel layout from where it was the last couple of years, where it looked like the classic, like the very first version, before, like, it would display your subscribers, your videos, and oh shoot, there was a third thing as well. But it was very easy. I got to look and very easily see how many videos someone had made and had uploaded on their channel. And at that time, they changed the like and dislike bar from green from green to blue. Well, the like bar anyway. I believe the dislike bar stayed the same. And then I remember back when comments, if people disliked a comment, you could see, like, oh, this comment has 4 likes and 2 dislikes. I distinctly remember that. And fortunately for back then, unfortunately now, animations were thriving. Animations do not thrive nowadays. A month or several weeks. Well, YouTube did a drastic change right after I started making content, which I did not like one bit. Like I said, it changed the very familiar layout to me, practically the only layout that I knew. It made a bunch of things foreign to me, and because the new algorithm, changed at this point to support watch time instead of views, animations basically took a big, massive hit. And I loved watching animations on YouTube. I loved watching animations on YouTube back in the day. But, you know, those were basically gone after that. And then later on in 2013, I believe it was around Thanksgiving, so around late November, for anybody that's non-American, that's pretty much when Susan Wojcicki took over as CEO. Before I get too overly critical, well, so that I don't get too overly critical on her, well, of her. I mean, the website's in a bad place, but it's not dead. The website could be dead and forgotten. I mean, I'm not trying to say that's a big accomplishment, not killing a website, despite what it feels like despite all of your actions. At the very least, she hasn't killed the website. It's certainly a lot worse than when she took over as CEO, but at the very least, it could be a lot worse. Is overall my main point. But old school YouTube was absolutely fun. And I loved every single bit of it. Sure, you can still go out and find content you like, but this site does not make it easy to find it at all. And by the way, I freaking like Actman's content. And I love Actman's content. So if that's one more thing that gets robbed from me on this site, so be it. I'm numb to it at this point. I'm like a cynical old man, like, oh, you think this is bad? Well, it is! But I've seen far worse. The adpocalypse, the rise of Google+. Yes. It's... God. I get that a website's not necessarily going to listen to their base all the time, but... Whew. It's not every day when websites go against everything that their viewers want, practically. It's like, we want this. Oh, you mean this, right? No, we mean the complete opposite of that. Well, too bad, you're gonna get that. Oh well. Before I go on a tangent, I should end the video. And so yes, guys, I do believe that will do it for this storytime video. And till next storytime video, I will see you all later. Goodbye, guys! Thank you all for watching.